These are the techniques I used and the lessons I learned changing the front differential oil on a 2014 BMW 640i xDrive. Remove the stiffener plate and the panel immediately aft of it, plus remove some of the fasteners for the other soft panels that connect. There is a cross brace on each side with a much larger bolt. It's also bolted in the back beneath a panel that you really don't want to remove. So remove the panel fasteners that you have to, and you can rotate the brace out of the way. Pay careful attention how these panels came out so that you can put them back in. You may even want to take a few pictures. I always use new plugs. I also like these magnetic holders that keep all the bolts together. Always remove the fill plug before the drain plug. The front axle and boot are in the way, so I had to loosen some of the panels there on the outboard side and snake a flexible rig into the plug. Here's that rig with the Allen wrench on the right, an elbow, a short extension, and you could probably get away with a solid, not flexible wrench on the left. There's very little room to guide the Allen wrench. You may consider very long needle nose pliers to help. Well, that was quite a surprise. Look how little oil was in that front differential. I didn't think to measure it, so I'm guessing, but that's maybe a third of the quantity that I put back in. Here's the oil I used, along with a bit that was left over from doing the rear differential. You'll have to use a pump to get the new oil into the fill plug. I learned to soften the fill tube a bit in hot water and bend it into about a 90-degree shape, which helps quite a bit getting up and around some of the obstacles. Again, with so little room to work, you're going to have difficulty getting the fill plug started. You can probably do that with fingers, but if you need a tool, then you can take a very long nose pliers and just grab the lip of the plug and spin it, 20 degrees at a time. Tighten the plug and then clean up the spilled oil.
This side supervises the ship designing brakes, tire things, stuff like that. And this has the most amount of tools that
Overall, this is a slow job, but not that difficult. Here are some lessons. Assemble the correct tools before you start. That flexible rig to get into the fill plug was critical, so is the pump to put in the new oil. The more covers you remove and loosen, the easier the job will be. Inspect everything while all those covers are off. You rarely get a chance to take a look at the bottom because of those covers. For example, I found this oil seepage in the transmission, which I cleaned up and will monitor. Bending the fill tubing, as I showed you earlier, really helps. In fact, I went and bought a few feet of that tubing from a hardware store so I could have a few different angles on hand. The fresh oil is pretty thick. It's hard to push through the pump and you have to fill slowly to give it a chance to settle. And to hammer this point, with any job like this, you've got to remove the fill plug first, because if something goes badly wrong, you strip it, you can't get it out, at least now you'll still have the old oil in your part and you won't be stuck dry. That's it. I hope something here helps you out.